Hey everyone, or whoever's gonna pop in. It's another live show. Let's see what happens. See what happens this week. Last week's was a little, eh, and I ended up just deleting it. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. See how it goes. Um, wait for a few people to pop in. Talk about a few things. Got to promote the holiday sale that's going on right now. I'm leaving at 7:00 because I got to go downtown and pick up my kid from the skate park. So, but hopefully I'll answer some questions. Hope everybody's weekend was good. You know, we're in October, folks. Here we are. The magic of Halloween month begins, huh? Hope everybody is watching some flicks, getting down with the thickness. What we got in here? You know, Halloween is right up there. It's my second favorite holiday. Christmas is my first. I feel like as a horror fan, and as a horror fan since I was a kid, I mean, every day is Halloween. But I certainly, come September, October, I do get a little more into the spirit of the holiday. I do love it, and I love being at a house now where I can, we can really, pass out candy. Because 9 years we were at a place where we got no trick or treaters, but finally last year when we moved into this house in this neighborhood, it was awesome. So, and I love that, and I love kids still being in the Halloween spirit, and all that good stuff. So, I hope everybody has a great Halloween themed October planned. But yeah. Master of the 80s. Hello, another late night for Master of the 80s. Thank you for popping in. And thank you for your order, Master of the 80s. Thank you for grabbing a copy of Saturday Morning Sleepover, Volume 1. Andrew Scruggs. Hello, Andrew. Another week. Hopefully you have questions. See how many other people pop in. Yeah. How was your weekend, guys? You guys have a good, moist, erotic weekend? We see, what did we do? Well, we did our Hocus Pocus double feature on Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday. When she got out of work, we watched a bunch of. We started with some horror movies. Watched some good, some bad. Um, Still have not seen Barbarian or Smile. One of these days, we'll see. Hello. The back of the dog going to listen while I drive. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see if anybody wants to talk about anything. We'll see. I'm only gonna stick around till 7 anyway. I got to split. Master of the 80s. As soon as you announced it, I knew I needed a copy. I think it's a wonderful concept that I've always enjoyed seeing on your channel. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. And I'll be doing more, and they're all straight from my uh, edited files that I have saved over the many years of doing Saturday morning sleepover. So I've saved all the files that I've used, and this is coming from my my curation. A lot of the stuff that I pick is stuff that I watched in the 80s. And some is stuff that's even obscure to me, but for the most part, it's all stuff that I enjoyed or rewatched or still enjoy to this day and whatnot. So, Andrew, always having a good moist-filled weekend. Played some Cyberpunk and watched my best friend's Exorcism. Yeah, we watched that too. Katie and I didn't really like it too much. I think she liked it more than I did, but I wasn't a fan. We watched X, which was okay. We watched The Wretched, which was all right. Did a rewatch of Salem's Lot. I hadn't seen Salem's Lot in a while, and oof, that is a sloggingly boring TV adaptation. I can't imagine what I felt watching it when I was younger, as an early teen when I first saw it, because it was a slog to get through. I am looking forward to the new. I remember liking the 2004 version of Salem's Lot with Rob Lowe. That miniseries, that was all right. But I am looking forward to the new movie. I know they shot a new movie that's coming out. It got pushed back. Master of the 80s. If you release any more, then count me in for a cop. I am going to be releasing more volumes. For sure, especially if people like this one. And we're only making 25 of them, very limited Blu-rays, and we have 15 left of those of the Saturday Morning Sleepover. Volume 1, Halloween edition. But yeah, I guess I can talk about it. I mean, there's not many people, and these people who are on here already know, but I'm doing a sale. I have a sale going on right now until October 20th, and you can get all of the Blu-rays that I offer of my films for $15 each in the US. That's shipped in the US. Or you can get all 12, including the new release, for $140 shipped in the US. Now the two new pre-orders are LBP Classic Volume 4, which is Meter Man 1 and 2, and then a bunch of extras and extra short films and stuff from the early days of LBP, and a few on there that was only released. They were only released on VHS during the Cemetery Cinema days, which was moons ago in the 90s still. And that's on the Volume 4 release. And then the Saturday Morning Sleepover, um, 80s nostalgia release of nothing but 80s and early 90s television shows, cartoons, TV commercials, music videos, oddities, etc., all edited together. It's the stuff that I show during my Saturday morning sleepover events, and I'm offering limited copies of that as well. And the Volume 4 Blu-ray is pre-ordered for $30 shipped in the US, and the um, Saturday Morning Sleepover Volume 1 disc is $25 shipped in the US. And then, all the other releases that I offer, 15 each, or you can get the whole shebang for 140 shipped in the US. If you are overseas and you want the stuff, we got to talk about shipping, and because that's going to be a little crusty, as the shipping is always a little more ristoinculous. Um, but yeah, that's the sale going on. There's, we have an ad sheet on my Instagram, which is Warlock Home Video, or at Warlock Home Video. It's also on my Facebook pages, Christopher J. Seaver or Warlock Home Video, Warlock Home Video Network, for the Facebook. And then this Matt Martin, who's a big fan. Matt Martin is the guy who runs. He created like the Teen Ape fan page and the Low Budget Pictures fan page and all that stuff. And he does the Instagram account for Teen Ape and all that stuff. I had nothing to do with it. His name is Matt Martin. He's just a big fan of my work. And I used to see this stuff all the time, and I was just like, what? Who is doing all this? This was a couple of years ago, and I was just like, this is hilarious. And finally, I, wrote to them and was like, who are you? And he said who he was, and he's just a fan, and he is helping getting the word out. So I think it's awesome. But he just did like a pretty cool little video ad for the new sale. But yeah, the sale goes on until October 20th. Same with these pre-orders, and then shipping begins October 21st, so that we can get all this stuff out to you guys for Halloween. Now, once I get the new discs, the Volume 4 and the Saturday Morning Sleepover discs in from the duplicator, I'm going to ship out immediately. So, it'll definitely be before that. But if you want that stuff, you can get a hold of me at warlockhomevideo@gmail.com. It's all through PayPal. Cody, what's up, Chris? Hope all is well, bud. Hello, Cody. Did you dig Hocus Pocus? I did. We usually watch Hocus Pocus 1 every Halloween. But I think the last 2 Halloweens we didn't get to it. And then I ended up getting a 4K for it recently. And so we were like, hey, let's just do a double feature on Friday when Hocus Pocus 2 comes out. And so we ordered some pizza and went down to the theater room and watched Hocus Pocus 1 and 2 back to back. And we had a great time. I thought part 2 did a pretty good job. They as far as I was concerned, they did it. They really managed to sort of give me the feel of that movie, and then do something new. And the chemistry between the 3 sisters is still there. I loved seeing Doug Jones back as Billy Butcherson. So that was cool. Yeah, I dug it. Yeah, I thought it was a great sequel. Yeah, they did good. It was fun. Yes, and as I was rewatching the 4K version for Hocus Pocus, I did notice the Hellraiser skateboard is intact, and I think I let you know, Cody, but it is there. But yeah, they did a good job. I actually chuckled at some stuff that was in the second one. And the beginning was great. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who does want to watch Hocus Pocus 2, but the opening was awesome. It's they did and they did you know they did a great job. It was fun, good stuff. I'll definitely be, if they do end up putting it on physical media, which I hope they do, I will definitely be getting it. So I did see the post-credit scene, yes, which was all right. I would rather this just be like a 1 and 2 and that's it. Um, but I just they just put out that it was the number one streaming movie on Disney Plus of all time so far. Uh, so the legions of fans for Hocus Pocus did watch it. So I suppose if they did want to make another one, they could. But I'm okay if they don't. I wouldn't push it. Waiting 29 years for if they were ever going to do a second one, and then they do, and then I don't want to press the luck. um, really getting into. I mean, still keeping up on our shows, Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, which is probably my favorite show on television right now. Also love Rings of Power. This last episode was pretty dope. Still doing the other shows. I'm not watching Andor. We did watch the first episode of Andor, and I don't know. I'm having a Star Wars moment in my body, and I don't know if any of this stuff is really doing it for me anymore. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, I'm a you know I'm a Star Wars kid, and it's been in my life since I was born, really, literally. And I mean, we have a whole room devoted to Star Wars. We love Star Wars in this family, but I think everybody has their Star Wars, and everyone can love Star Wars the way they love it. And I think I love it my way. And I think I'm just getting kind of tired of the stuff they're doing. Regardless, I mean, I really liked Mandalorian season 1. I loved Mandalorian season 2. Um, did not like Boba Fett, other than like a few episodes. the two best episodes of Boba Fett are not even Boba Fett episodes; they're Mandalorian episodes. Boy, did I not like Obi-Wan. And Andor, it's like, I don't know. Why should I fucking care? I don't know. We all know what happens to him. It's just like, I'm tired of Lucasfilm sort of staying in the same universe. They just keep like, they can't jump ship from the timeline of the main like Skywalker timeline. They just, hopefully with the Acolyte and you know, um, this show Skeleton Crew that they have for Star Wars, hopefully that. I mean, I know the Acolyte does. The Acolyte is like, at the end of the High Republic, so it has nothing to do with the fucking Skywalkers at all, and all of that stuff, and the same fucking timeline, So I'm all about that. Gooch. Yeah, Mando season 2 was great. Well, if you watch, so watch the rest of season 2 and then watch Boba Fett. Watch, I think it's episode 6 and 7, or 7 and 8 of Boba Fett. I can't. No, 6 and 7 of Boba Fett, and that continues the story from Mandalorian, from season 2, the end of season 2. And I am looking forward to season 3. Hey Gooch, my weekend was good. Watched a bunch of movies. And got some movies. I got The Lost Boys in 4K. Poltergeist 4K. Dracula 92, Bram Stoker's Dracula in 4K. And of course, Fright Night 4K. And from what I hear about all of these 4K discs, 4K transfers, is they did stellar jobs on these suckers. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they look like. So yeah, they did not skimp. I mean, because I have all the other Fright Night Blu-rays and documentaries and everything, I have a lot of this stuff, but for this 4K disc, they also added some new stuff. But they really did, they stacked the Fright Night 4K, and it's Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, which is fucking amazing. So on the 128-inch screen and 4K projector downstairs, it's going to be awesome. And I cannot wait. There will never be a Sex Squatch 2 4K. So for anyone anyone who just kind of popped in, I am splitting at 7 o'clock. So if you have questions, if you have stuff you want to talk about, let's do it. My kid is at a skate park. I got to pick him up at 7:30. So. Now, Death of Lantern 4K release. We started shooting the movies in 4K in when did we start? I guess we started for Evil Night, I think. 2014. Yeah, we shot Evil Night in 4K. The Weirdsies, Death of Lantern, the remake. I think we did. The Gooch, are you decorating your house for Halloween? So there's a little bit. We did a little bit in the kitchen and living room. Not too much. We do it outside more. We used to do it inside in our old house. And we do have more stuff that we could put up, but it's just odd. It's an odd. And plus, like, again, when you're a horror fan and you have been a horror fan all your life, I mean, you constantly have horror stuff up, and it's sort of all around anyway. But we do a little extra, certainly if we're going to do like a little Halloween get together and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's the outside that we decorate. And we have not done that yet because we are headed off to North Carolina for 5 days coming up to see Katie's family. And so we figured when we get back from that trip, we'll do the outside. And we do have a lot of stuff for the outside. So we're excited for that. And of course, the big purchase this year was that 12-foot skeleton from Home Depot. So we're excited to get that up. But yeah, I mean, if you guys follow my Instagram or my Facebook, then you guys will see I always post videos of the Halloween stuff. And like I said, now I'm in a neighborhood where I can actually like give candy to trick-or-treaters, which is always exciting. So, and we really do up the outside. Like, we're the most decorated, both Halloween and Christmas, in this neighborhood. And we'll just keep adding more so that everyone is like, oh man, we got to go to the Seaver house, So. Mm. 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 Oh god, I don't really do steel books, but I guess it was the only way you could get the 4Ks. So. It's all right. Cody, thanks for putting out the Saturday morning sleepover on Blu-ray. Going to be fun to watch. Yeah, that's just the first volume. That's just 8 hours of. That's just some of the Halloween Saturday morning sleepover stuff that I've done throughout the years. So there will definitely be more to come. But thank you for grabbing one. We have how many? We have 15 left of the Saturday morning sleepover discs for pre-order. Same with Low Budget Pictures Classics Volume 4. We have 15, maybe 16 left of that one. Um, but the sales are going until October 20th. The Gooch, are you dressing up this year or not? I dress up. We do dress up every year. Even at the old house that we had for 9 years, we never got any trick-or-treaters because of where we were. The main drag was just too busy and dangerous, so there just never was kids. But I always did sort of dress up and have candy ready just in case, but it never happened. Last year, I just got in my pumpkin suit, like my dress pumpkin suit, and put the Sam trick or treat mask on. His pumpkin face, not the burlap sack, but the pumpkin mask, and just handed out candy, and it was awesome. Cody's Scream Factory are the only steel books I care about. Yeah, I don't care about steel books at all. The only steel books I have are if they come that way, and that's the only way I can get them. I mean, I don't care. It's an odd thing. So it's a very odd collectible, I guess. Because I mean, first and foremost, I just care about the movie. I don't care about that's why I don't care about slipcovers. Like the slipcovers, just like what a waste. What a waste. And people are like, oh, but the art. Well, guess what? You're putting your movies in like this on shelves. Not like this. So you never really see the art. The only time you see it is if you pull out, and then you're putting the movie in the disc player to watch the movie. Otherwise, just buy art. You know what I'm saying? Buy art and put it up on your wall. This is very odd. It's a very odd thing that collectors go nuts out for, like movie fans. But people do what they do. Not me. Big old waste of money. Big old waste of space. Slipcovers? Bah. Take it out and throw it away. I do have one dude though, the Leroy Green 85, who really likes buying my slipcovers when I have covers that he needs. He'll just do a bundle of them and I'll just send them out. Yeah, I mean, hey, everybody collects the way they collect. For me, I just, it's the movie. If I want the movie, that's the movie that I want, and I care about the movie. I don't care about anything else. Yes, the Gooch. Yes. Sorry, we did talk about this, but yeah, we did watch Hocus Pocus 2. Yeah, the Necker partnership. I mean, I prefer if I tend to like it more if they offer the figure outside of not getting all the other shit with it. Um, I did want the Stevie Wayne figure for the Fog, but I already have the Fog on 4K, and it it seemed like that was the only way you could get the figure, or it sold out super fucking fast. I don't know, but it's like it's just not. Halloween Ends is coming up pretty soon. Kind of curious how the saga ends. Well, I guess so. You mean like how these three movies end, because there's going to be more Halloween movies, but yeah, yeah, I'm gonna watch it again. I don't know if we're gonna actually do the theater for it, or just watch it at home. Do a free trial for Peacock and just fucking watch it on the screen downstairs, as opposed to going to the theater for it. I'm glad we didn't spend any money in the theater to see Halloween Kills, because you know that last year we just put on Peacock, ordered a pizza, and watched it and laughed through the whole thing, or shook our head through the whole thing, like we couldn't believe what we were watching. Like, what the fuck happened? Yeah, that's how I got the figure for Silent Night, Deadly Night. Because they just did it separately, and I was like, okay, that's great. I already have the disc. Like, I don't need all these other things, you know. So I did get the figure that way. I think I'm kind of like uh, Scream Factory really needs to. I don't know. Like I said, they're all they seem to be really doing now is re-releasing their movies in 4K on 4K. And like, I mean, the majority of the flicks that they put out had 4K scans to begin with, but were, compressed for 1080p, which some movies, that's fine. I don't need to go 4K on a lot of the shit. I'm very picky with what 4K I want. And if I think it's going to actually, you know, enhance my viewing pleasure. So I'll do research ahead of time. But now all they're fucking doing is just re-releasing their catalog, but in 4K, and it's just like, ugh, come on, guys. You know, I mean, they're gonna start getting to where Vinegar Syndrome is, and they're just scraping the bottom of the barrel and just putting out whatever because they know people will buy it. you know, uh, but a lot of the companies are doing that. Again, I don't. Yeah, those combos. It's like I don't collect pins. I don't do that. I don't put pins on anything. So I'm not a pin collector. The that means nothing to me. You know. So I mean, it's a way for them to almost like upsell. Like, yes, we know you have this, but now have it in 4K. And there's not really anything extra, but here, have some pins with it, and that kicks up the price, and you'll double dip. So, Fright Rags would never do that. you know, Ben, Ben and I have been friends since 2004. He's been in some of my movies. He's been to my birthday parties. He's been to my events. I've been to his events. He's been to barbecues. I've been to barbecues. We're buddies. But there's just not enough interest on his side of things to do anything LBP related, Chris Seaver related. I mean, if something were to be big, if something like caught on and was like, oh, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be on Shutter or whatever, something like that, then maybe he would there'd be a reason to do it, but that ain't. I don't see that happening. Started Dahmer today. 2 episodes down so far. Pretty good. That Evan Peters and Ryan Murphy, that's a collaboration. That's a match made in hell. For sure. Hmm. Hmm. Genital mutilation. Yeah, Evan Peters is good. It is a good actor. Sacre bleu. The fuck? So we put out the second half of our 80s theatrical experience video. Bobby, Sean King, and I. So the second half is up there on the channel now. Goes from 85 to 89. So hopefully you guys can check that out. And we've got some new stuff coming as well. We did shoot a Hammer horror video, Bobby and I, so that's going to go up next week, I believe. Somewhere in there when I get back. We're going to do a couple more, horror Halloween themed episodes before October runs dry. The archive, done driving. How much for LBP Volume 4 and Saturday morning combined with shipping? That is 55 shipped for those 2 pre-orders for Volume 4 and Saturday morning sleepover. Those discs, 55 shipped. Once the discs get in, I'll be sending out immediately. Otherwise, I'm just saying October 21st is when the full shebang shipping will start, and the sale will be over on the 20th. But again, if I get the discs in sooner for those 2 pre-orders, I'll ship sooner. Um, yeah, and like I said, I've got about 15 left of the Saturday morning sleepovers, and about 15 or 16 left of the for those pre-orders for Volume 4 for LVP Volume 4, and then the other releases are 15 each, or all the Blu-rays for 140 each shipped, all that good stuff. I know you're not a 90s people, but any chance of a 90s theater experience video? Maybe. There's a couple 90s videos on this channel that Casey and I did, because he's 4 years younger than me. And he considers himself, yeah, he was in the 80s, but he remembers a lot more about the 90s, and the 90s really, like, um, was more, I guess, his time. 4 years doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're a kid, it is. Um, so he definitely, there's things that I talk about all the time that he has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, because we're that 4 years apart. But yeah, I'm sure we'll do a 90s experience, because I mean it's shit a lot. I thought I saw a lot in the 80s theatrically, but once 1990 hits and you go up, it's just like, whew. Yeah, there's a lot. And in '89, I started to save my ticket stubs. Um, I'm sure I've missed a few here and there throughout the years, but that's when I started saving my ticket stubs. Andrew Scruggs, I'm going to get them. Yeah, well, remember, you've got until October the 20th, and then the 21st, I will start to ship, and then it will be in your hands, and it'll be great. It'll be great. You'll be picking up the sleepover, hopefully tomorrow. Hey, come on, don't bullshit me. Give me this straight dope. It keeps bothering me. Damn you. Of course, we have the short film. We have had a couple people donate to the film. We are shooting, and the shooting of it might be a surprise. We might have a little change in it. If I can get the two people I want to get to come out, then there is going to be a slight change to the new Warlock film. So we're still needing donations for that. It's we only need. I mean, the budget is only $600 for the whole thing. So, like, whoever donates to the film, the more you donate, we're going to put your character will be. Your name will be one of the characters in the film. You'll also get to see it through a YouTube link, private link, before it gets put on Blu-ray. Well, before it gets put on Blu-ray. So you can, of course, get a hold of me, warlockhomevideo@gmail.com, to find out how you can donate to the new Warlock Home Video SOV crapster piece. Yeah, I definitely, like, there's time, and certainly when things went stubless. I didn't get any stubs, the last like 3-4 years or whatever, around here anyway. But I'm sure I have lost a lot of stubs. Some stubs I just didn't care about keeping. Um, but definitely in those, you know, from '89 up, I have most of those. I've got them in like Ziploc bags and old cups just filled with them, and they're getting so old and degraded. Ah, yes, Professor Strangefinger. Hello. Don't make me say it, Your Grace. Concert stubs. I have some of the concert stubs from the '90s, but not too many. I kept a few just because, like, if we were backstage or like out at the bus, and we'd talk with whoever, and they'd sign the stub or whatever. I have a lot of my horror convention stubs from the early '90s. Still no word on the documentary as well. It's still playing film festivals. Um, you know, I honestly really don't know what Zach is doing with that movie, with the documentary he made about me and my movies. So it's you know still doing festivals. I don't know ultimately where it's going to go. I keep getting messages from people asking me, "Hey, when is there going to be a DVD?" And like, I just tell people, and I'll tell people right now, for you guys and for people who watch this video later, don't ask me. Go to the source. Go to Zach Oliveris. Um, I will put his. I will put his link to his landing page in here, so you guys can just sort of bookmark it, and because he'll put up like what screenings are coming up, any sort of news like that, what he's doing next. Um, so I just plop that in there. Who was your favorite celebrity that you've ever met? Shit. Who was my favorite celebrity? Hmm. Oh, I'll tell you. Um, a couple. I told this story. Can't remember who I told it to recently. Maybe Andrew, but in 2005 for my for as a wedding gift for my first wife, we got invited to the world premiere of Land of the Dead in Pittsburgh with everybody, with everybody there, all the celebrities and Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez and Savini and George Romero and everybody and all the people associated with the film and Romero's films and all of that stuff. But Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright were also there, and this was like right when Shaun of the Dead, which I'm not a fan of, but I was a huge fan of Spaced. So Shaun of the Dead was out in the UK already, and it wasn't hitting the US yet. And so I got to talk with Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg for like 20 minutes, and they were awesome. They were amazing. We just talked Spaced, and we talked Star Wars and all sorts of shit. It was awesome. But I'm sure I have good celebrity. Clive Barker was amazing in like '94. Robert Rodriguez in '94. But I'm thinking like really awesome experiences. So like 2011, we were at New York Comic Con, and we were just walking the vendor areas and looking for cool shit. And Guillermo del Toro was also walking the vendor area, just looking for cool monster shit. And we had promotional stuff. This was right. This was 2012. This was the fall of 2012, and we had just made Sexquatch, and so I had screeners, and it was doing festivals at that time. And so we had stuff and promotional stuff in my knapsack, walking just to hand out to people. So we were both at a vendor booth together, and I saw that it was, oh shit, this is Guillermo del Toro, and I was like, well, this, I'm never gonna get another chance to talk to him in person. So I took it. I started talking to him. He pulled me aside, and we just started talking, and he was great and fun and jovial. And I told him about this time where he and I interacted online, because he used to have a forum where he would talk to fans, and this was when he was making Hellboy. But so, and I gave him Sexquatch, and he was awesome about it. And he was talking about trauma and, how, he'll have to watch it, away from his wife, because his wife definitely wouldn't get down with Sexquatch and all this stuff. And he was really awesome and cool and just geeked out, and he was totally fun. And we all took a picture with him, and he didn't care. He was just like, oh, of course, So that was one of the good ones. Sorry, guys. Well, let's see. Just have to say, what I dig about this community here is how we can say Vinegar Syndrome, Anchor Bay, Blue Underground, and people know what the hell we're talking about. Indeed. Who was the worst celebrity? I've definitely had bad celebrity encounters. Like I said, so I've been going to the horror convention since 1993, and I haven't stopped. So in all that time, I have definitely met a lot of people, good and bad. Worst. I mean, Quentin Tarantino sucked. He was an asshole. He wouldn't even talk to you unless you were a woman. So you could be standing right there talking to him, saying things to him, and he's completely ignoring you. And then if a woman comes up, then he was all jovial and crazy and wanted to talk to you and all that shit. But I've, there's been, so I guess, I don't know, they weren't, when I met Johnny Ramone in '94, at the Fangoria Weekend of Horrors. He wasn't there. I mean, he was only there because he's a horror fan, so he was just walking around looking at shit, and I don't think it was the worst. He just was very like, I think he's just so used to it. But somebody coming up to him and giving him your praise and asking for a picture, and and that time it wasn't digital. It was just we had like the little twist and 35 film. He was a little like, hey, hurry up and take this picture. Hey, what are you doing? But I've had many encounters with Savini that were both amazing and repugnant, where he was just a bipolar mood. Ken Foree was kind of an asshole. There's been, I'd have to go through like all the, because I have a list, and I have picture books of all the people that I've met throughout the years, and certainly who was a turd and who wasn't. So that is a thing for sure. Good one, Cody. Blue Underground Rules. I remember this story. Cody, Blue Underground Rules. I don't think Blue Underground rules. I think they're ridiculous. I mean, William Lustig owns like the same 6 movies, and he just keeps putting them out on a new format over and over and over again. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Guillermo del Toro seems like such a cool human being. Hell yeah, he was. Skippy was the worst. Skippy was one of the best. I've heard some Savini horror stories from hell. He destroyed a friend of mine's Dawn box set. Well, damn. See, again, like, I've had many different experiences with Savini, some amazing, some deplorable. It's just whatever. I volunteered at the 2013 Halloween convention. Won't say names, but a lot of them were cool to fans, but dicks to us volunteers. That's sucky. Hey, that was my first copies of Fulci Flicks. Blue Underground, that is. Well, that doesn't mean anything. He doesn't change the fact that he still has the same 6 movies, and he just re-releases them over and over and over again. That's it. Yeah, I mean, they're cool to fans because they're getting money. And then they can turn around and pretend they're, celebrities. Some people are like that, and some people aren't. If they released a Fright Night, you'd have it. I mean, if they were the only ones who was releasing Fright Night, and if I didn't have it already, yes. But I mean, Anchor Bay, like many, many, many years before, what's his fuck got a hold of them, I had the Fulci stuff from Anchor Bay. And even before that, import VHS from Catalog of Carnage. Adrienne Barbeau, yes, I've met her a couple times. There was fire betwixt us. She almost Adrienne Barboned me. Yeah, those Anchor Bays, they were fun. It's fun, like when you look at some of my old videos, not on this, but I'm talking about like, when I still lived in Wellsville and whatnot. In the background, in like my house, I had 2 rooms, but one of them was like the media room. And if you look on the shelves back there, it's like all VHS, and there's some Anchor Bay clamshells that were cool, and it's nostalgia. Seeing that stuff, it's weird. Like as soon as it was so bizarre, but I did it as soon as DVDs started coming into play. I took like garbage cans and just tossed all of my VHS. On a practical level, it makes sense. I didn't, because I was getting DVDs, and DVDs from VHS was like a huge leap forward. So I just didn't care. And I never collected movies to collect movies other than to watch the movie. So I don't care about that stuff unless it's a Fright Night shrine. But now I guess if I were to get any of those clamshell VHS, I guess it would just be to, I don't know if I would do it. See, I don't really have a lot of VHS at all anymore. What I do have is stuff that I had since I was a kid in the 80s, and it's more of a nostalgia piece for me. Sorry, there's some stuff going on out there. Cemetery Man DVD is going for like $100. Sadness. Oh, interesting. I have that DVD. So yeah, I can't wait to sell it. I'd sell mine in a second. Nah, it was a gift. I can't part with it. Okay, remember, folks, I'm going to leave here at 7. I got to pick up my boy. There's one Fright Night Grail that I want, and it's for Fright Night 2. Overseas, they put out a a coffin box clamshell for Fright Night 2. Um, and I do not have that in my shrine, in my Fright Night collection. And I want that. And I've literally only seen it once on eBay, like probably 13, 14 years ago, and it was so expensive. And I was just like, I can't do this. It's just a piece of plastic. But that is a that is a grail. The Fright Night 2 coffin box. I used to have the 35mm traders for Fright Nights, but I sold them on eBay a few years back. Yeah, it's all right. I'm sure they went to a good home, or another seller who was just going to resell them or do whatever with them. I just saw that this, I can't remember what company it is. It's like a German. It's a German release, but it's funny because like Andrew, Clint, and I always lament that there's no Bloodsport 4K. And then like out of the blue, this German company, put out an ad for their upcoming Bloodsport 4K release. And so I got to get that movie in 4K. I'm sure it'll look great, because I don't think the Blu-ray does that movie justice. I want to see my Jean-Claude Van Damme in crisp 4K. Was there a novelization for Fright Night? I have both of the. Yes, there is. I have both covers of the original novelizations of Fright Night. Professor Strangefinger, I strung up my Halloween lights in the big front window yesterday. It was nice to see them again. Great. Yeah, we'll be putting ours up in a couple, probably about the 12th, I'd say. They're going to go up out there. Cody, you need a tattoo of Jock DeQueef dressed as Evil Ed? No, you don't. Nobody needs that. Now, Skippy, Caspian, Griselda, Teen Ape. Now you're talking. It's cold up in here. We're trying to leave our central air off. I mean, our central heat off as long as we can before we got to kick it on. But it's getting crispy. We have 3 cats. They're kind of running around somewhere. Something Seaver will be on there. I like that. I like that. Maybe the cartoon caricatures of the LBP characters from the LBP logo. That I could see somebody doing, you know. Or their gooches. You don't want to discriminate. Kenny Kruger. I 10 minutes. 10 minutes and then I'm out. Actually, I should find out what part I need to pick him up. You guys going to see? Oh, I love to do the live streams. Keep them coming. Yeah, you know, it's. I like it. I like talking to everybody. I wish there was more stuff. You know, I said it last time. I got to come up with like a theme for all of us to talk about or something because there's a lot of dead air, and I know that people who watch it afterwards, you know, can get kind of bored and because nothing's happening, nothing's being said, nothing's being talked about or asked or whatever. But I do appreciate the people who do come by and, you know, it gets very lonely here. But yeah, I do thank you. Thank you. I got to bring some guests on too. I got to start bringing some folks on who will also rap with y'all. But yeah, I like the Q&As. I like being able to continue on a conversation, long form. I'm gonna probably watch Sex Squatch and more of your movies this weekend. Excellent. Please do. Yes. Come up with some questions after seeing those films or any of the films, and we'll rock and roll. See, I gotta amuse myself. Stop whining. Oh, shit. All right, the Gooch. Thank you. Next Tuesday I will not be here. Yes, I forgot. Guys, I will not be here. I will not be doing a live show next Tuesday. I will just be driving back from North Carolina. And for us, it's a fucking 10-hour drive. So we, unless I do it another day next week, I don't think we'll be doing a live show next week. But yeah, he knows what's up. Like and or subscribe. If you're new, subscribe. There's a lot of stuff on the channel for you to enjoy if you like horror and toys and the 80s and weird, fucked up comedy horror movies and stuff like that. And thank you, Gooch. If you want to get, I have a sale going on of my films. This isn't just for these guys in the chat. This is for everybody who watches this live chat later. If you didn't hear the whole thing, whatever you're doing, whenever you pop in, I have a sale going on. You can get a bunch of my movies on Blu-ray, 15 each. It's a sale until October 20th. It's the Halloween sale. Shipping begins the 21st, unless I get the discs in sooner, and then I'll be shipping then. But you can get, I've got 12 Blu-rays. You can get the bundle deal for $140, or you can get them each for 15 each, shipped in the U.S. I have the pre-order up for Low Budget Pictures Classics Volume 4, which is Meter Man and Meter Man 2, and then a whole slew of short films that nobody has ever seen before. And then I have, which is $30 shipped, that pre-order. And then I have the Saturday Morning Sleepover. And the Saturday Morning Sleepover is an event I do in my home that I've been doing for 6 years now, 5-6 years, where I edit together 8 to 10 hours of nothing but 80s television, cartoons, commercials, music videos, and weird video oddities, all put together. Stuff that I grew up watching, stuff that I love, weird stuff now, that I discovered, whatever it is. But it's all nostalgia based. It's all, childhood based, and it's fun. And I do it in my home for a bunch of people every few months, every year. And I'm finally doing it for fans to enjoy. So it's a limited copy. It's limited copies, only 25 each. It's a Halloween edition, so it's 8 hours of nothing but 80s and early 90s. A few early 90s choice picks in there that are Halloween themed, to tickle your nostalgia bone. And that's 25 each shipped. And we've got 15 left of those. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I got to go get my kid. But we'll keep talking. We'll set up a time, if not, sometime next week after I get back from North Carolina. But who knows, the next week before. I don't know. I'm rambling. I got to go. Thanks for popping in and continuing to enjoy the Sievage and this channel and my films and the stupidity. See you guys later. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Stay quit. And I'll see you. Bye.